The question is like this. I'm asking Mr. Chavan. He said you must forgive everyone. Now supposing somebody abuses your Mataji, says horrible things about her and she sort of infuriates you, then what to do? How to overcome that?
Now, I'll try to translate it in the reply that I gave. Was that I feel that suppose a situation comes across where a certain person is abusing mother. So what is our first reaction? If we are stable, I feel you should be immediately able to make out as to whether that person is a knowledgeable person, where he is realized. Because a realized soul will never be able to abuse mother, never be able to talk anything against mother. That is just impossible. It's only because he is in avidya, he doesn't have the knowledge that he is abusing the one. When he comes to reality, he will not do so. Now I told that our elder brother, Jesus Christ, has shown us the way in this regard. He has said that whenever you come across any such person abusing God, then you have to tell, you have to pray God that please, we have to say, please mother, you forgive him. When mother forgives, everything comes in it. I feel it is not necessary to give him punishment. I am nobody to punish him. It is the forgiveness of mother itself that itself will act as punishment and reward for that person. Because as soon as she forgives, the person will get realized and he will get everything. There is no other good punishment than this. Thank you.
It's very well said. It's a very subtle point. Because God has also given us temper and anger as well as forgiveness. Both qualities are within us. And He has not given us temper for something that is useless. Even temper is necessary. Once you are realized, once you are a realized soul, your temper is also dynamic. It is needed. When somebody says something against God and against your mother, if he is a realized soul or if he is not a realized soul is a very important point, no doubt. Supposing he is not a realized soul, then best thing is to pity such a man and say that, oh God, forgive, because they do not know what they are doing. But say, even Christ, supposing something had happened to the mother of Christ, well, how he would have reacted? Then he would have come up as her son, and he would have taken the cross in his hand and hit all the people there. So when somebody abuses, who is a realized soul, there are many realized souls whom I have given realization, who have come up very well, but who fall out, who try to abuse and try to say bad things. Now at that time, it's the whole collectivity is challenged. The whole collectivity, the whole collective being is challenged when he says something like that. He is a part and parcel of your being. Think if in your finger you have some pain, what do? You rub it off. When a person who is a realized soul, if he tries to be funny or if he tries to abuse anything that is divine, you have to get into a temper. That's a part. But this temper is to be diverted into Sahaja Yoga system. Like you beat him with shoes. You write his names and burn it. You write his names on the ground and stamp it. You take out your anger on that. Your anger is divine anger. It has a meaning. You are part of the whole divine. If you are angry, the divine is angry. But this anger is hitakari, is the one that is benevolent, is a benevolent anger. This benevolent anger is necessary because he is a part and parcel of the whole. and you go all out. There are so many ways by which you really punish in a symbolic way, but that punishment brings him out of his negativity. But for people who are not realized also, these things come up when negativity is very powerful and wants to take a challenge with the positivity. Supposing there's a negative person and he wants to disturb, say, our work. At that time, you'll be amazed that those who will be negative will start supporting the person. Immediately you can pick them out and say that these are negative. And those who are positive will be in anger. They will keep quiet, some of them will be boiling, and some of them might get up and say, you get out from here. That we have to do. That challenge we have to take up and say to people. That is only possible when you have full discretion how to use your anger. You have to say it. It is necessary. Because if you allow these negativities to be there, they will get hold of the people who are sitting on the fences, who are half-baked. At that time, it's necessary to show your strength, not to get lost in your temper, but to stand up to say, you get out from here, you don't know what you're doing. That is very important. Because whatever you say is a mantra, is a dynamite. That will change the whole atmosphere. The negativity will run away. But if you say that, oh, all right, let it happen, it will have a bad effect. Christ allowed them to torture him, but not his mother nor God. He took a hunter in his hand when people were selling in the market. So he has a double side also. And in you also there is Kalaki. And you, I have awakened Kalaki in you. So you are also Kalaki, but you must reach a certain maturity. Then only you can do it. Sometimes it is very important, but the way you do it, with what dignity you do it, is very important. But one has to learn that also. You have to learn how to say it with sternness and with strength, that you shut up now. You are not to say a word. And only saying this will make all the negativities run away. At a point one has to say. That's what I feel, that when you grow in this atmosphere here, let you find yourself, which is also very, very strong, as well as forgiving. You know that your mother's nature is Ati Saumya, Ati Rodra. She lives in two extremes. She can be extremely gentle, and she can be terrific. And these two qualities you should also imbibe. But it should never be directed against your own brothers and sisters. You don't direct all destructive forces, but against the negativity, because the time has come for us to fight. The time has started now for us to fight these negative forces. And for that, we all must take up strength within us. You see, compromising with them and all that is not going to help us. So the strength must be there, a dignity, and with all understanding, discretion, you have to tell. But I have seen mostly negative people will stand up and say, you shut up, you go away. So the positivity should reach that stage where you are matured, and when you say just stand up and shut up, it means something. That's a part one has to play. One has to accept. We are not going to run away from our parts. And sometime, as I said, you have to take swords in your hand. So this is a very courageous road full of valor. It does not mean that we are cowards or we are weak people. We are very strong, extremely powerful people, and you have tremendous power. But you have the greatest power is that of forgiveness. But behind that forgiveness there is no weakness. What is the forgiveness of a weak person? He has to forgive in any case. But the strength of a Sahajogi can forgive. So if somebody says something against the divinity itself, you have to stand up in a way, in a dignified way, and use your discretion, and if necessary you have to tell them that you are in for trouble. This much I can say. because this is also an important part where step by step as you are growing you will be amazed that as you are flowers you are also the thorns that have to protect the flower within. We have both roles and we are not to avoid anything. That is within us, that is our part, but only thing is the channelizing. This is very important and this subtle point we must understand. Mr. Chavan is a very, very competent man and he knows how to handle situations and things. But him also and to everyone I'm telling you, if you find anybody, any Sahaja Yogi, who is deviating from the path of Sahaja Yoga, you have to tell him straight on the face that this is wrong. This you should not do. And you should support a man who says that. It is important because all of us must join hands together to find out the weaknesses that we have and how to get rid of them. It's very important. Because unless until we take a strong attitude towards ourselves and towards our whole collectivity, you don't know. There's such a tremendous force collected against divinity that we may give in. So let us build up ourselves also with courage and with the full idea of our powers of divinity that we have within ourselves. So may God bless you. It's a very good point that came up. I'm very happy. And Chavan is a very good leader, a very nice man and compromising and a very powerful person. He comes from a community which is known for its valor. And so he's so strong because he has built up himself like that. And such a person will have patience and everything he can have. But to a point, then you have to come out and tell off people. Thank you.